Hey everyone, welcome back. We are going to start to jump into our cart and like product screen here, like adding to cart, all that functionality is going to be in here. So let's do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create like a copy here. We can keep this pretty clean. And I think at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the color and just match it really quickly. And we can remove the frame behind. So we have this little like outline because we're not on like any given page right now. Now we have our home screen. So let me just delete everything up here. Okay. So it seems like right now we have this designed where there's like maybe a heart there. Like I said, that may switch to a different like icon in the future. I'm just going to, remove this frame here. But I'm going to keep that heart up there. I think we do need to think about having like maybe a back button up here or something like that. That's, easily available. Oops. Okay, we can keep it like that. And then this is like our main image. Oop, that's a little too big. So this product screen, has that main image in the background. It has the product text. I think what we're going to do at this point is we're going to keep it pretty similar. This is where we can start like bumping up the actual text and, different elements. Oops. I think at this point, what I want to do is I actually, I'm going to negate this and come in a bit more because, we could create two variations. I'm actually going to create a copy of this, like an expanded version and then like a non-expanded version where like we have a button that's just like kind of like a big CTA. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a rectangle in the background here. So you can either do this with a frame. I'm just moving really quickly, so I'm just going to use a rectangle because it's just easier to work with at the moment. And just grab like the softest color so that way we create some sort of contrast. And now things are starting to come together a little bit more here. We can grab like this little thing right here, this little review thing. These can bump up a bit more. Okay, so this can come up a little bit more in size. Maybe there's another thing right here that says, there's like 12 reviews or something like that. So I'm also like, I'm really thinking about content coming through at this point as well. That's kind of what I'm interested in. I want to see what content's going to kind of like help fill in this page. So we have that. And I think the next step is let's remove this price because, we do have the price over here, but, I want to make sure that I want the price actually to be like in this like kind of footer area. So I'll show you what I mean, what I'm going to go for right now in a second. I'm going to, remove that. And I think like for the description, we can do something like this. So you can either follow along with me or, you can go ahead and do it yourself. I just want to show you what my process looks like and, how fast I can spin up these different styles and, move towards that higher fidelity that everyone really, really loves to move towards. Oops. So I'm just going to move this down a bit and I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to put this over here. And here at the bottom, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, have a little section right here. I'm going to delete this and I'm going to write something like, I'm going to actually put the price. So say this is, I have 2000 over here. And then over here with your options. And I'm probably going to use enter for this. you know, you don't want to have these fonts like interchanging way too much. Like that's when it gets really confusing. So definitely use sparingly these different options you have. So I'm gonna bring this down, and I'm gonna, you know, tighten it up a bit with its spacing, and then I'm gonna bring in like another rectangle in the background. I'm using a lot of my hotkeys, so, you know, sending to back, I'm using these ones. These ones are really easy to remember, just those brackets. So I'm gonna send those to back. Boom. This is really beautiful. And then I'm gonna grab a color, and maybe it's a time to use our brand color. I think another option we have, like a nice, just pale yellow that stands out a bit. You know, we can use that, or we can use something like a little bit more like that, something that pops a little bit more like a black. So, okay, now we have that. And I think it's time to bring in like maybe our button. So we can bring in like our add to cart button over here and really, really make this look like a nice just product screen where, you know, you can definitely get all the content you need just by, you know, viewing the description, viewing what maybe options, maybe that's like what we do in the next iteration. But as you can see, we have a lot of different, you know, little variations. So I'm going to grab that, go over here, and, you know, paste that to the top. And maybe we add an icon in here. So add to cart. So this definitely feels really nice. And then maybe when you scroll down, this like gets like attached to the bottom. Maybe there's like a different version where, you know, maybe this sticks somewhere else. But I like on mobile phones using like the whole area here to really make this whole product pop. And then like in the next iteration, like I mentioned, we would go in and really design like things like the review section and all that kind of stuff. And there you go. That's how you start building that fidelity. And that's how you start really experimenting with visual style and, you know, just the color and typography choices that you chose.